Hello, my lovely internet friends, and welcome back to the park where I'm sparing no expense because it's mine, MYRI'S Paleo Park. And we're starting right where we left off at the live stream that we did last year, which is this tree. As you can see, I just copied it outside of the habitat because, well, all the stuff that was in there was in my way. All the fences lighting up and everything, it makes it hard to see what you're doing. And I had the glass wall in front and the bushes and trees and everything. So I just took it outside and adjusted a few things. I just rushed through the process so we could add foliage and stuff to the tree for you in the live stream. So, you know, I wouldn't just be adding branches all the time. But I wasn't satisfied because I rushed it. So I had to adjust a few things. I worked on hiding the seam that was created by this log that we added there. I added there at the start, just so that the animals don't walk through the tree, which is something they do because all of these elements that I'm using here are just from the sticks and rocks folder, and these don't have a hitbox for the creatures. So I added this log that is a structural element so the animals don't walk through the tree, which is awesome and just what we want. And while I'm doing like the last adjustments for now on this tree, let me just tell you that I'm sorry it took me so long to release this episode, to have it ready to be released. I just absolutely wanted it to be the continuation of the stream, so I had to finish the tree. And I was asked by, I think, Kicker White Lion during the stream, like, for some ballpark numbers of how many hours it takes me to do, or it took me to do specific things in this park. And I'm going to provide this information in the future. So just so you know, finishing this tree took me 11 hours. You'll see why, I guess. A lot of working on tiny details, but that's just how I work. And don't beat yourself up if this is like not your way of building in this game, because it takes the right person to spend like a year on a park instead of building several parks a year. It's not for everyone, so don't beat yourself up. And this is why I am here, to do this stuff for you, so you can download all the things that I built in the workshop. So now I started adding like the foundation of what is going to become a tree house. I had this in mind. Cats love being high up and chilling somewhere in the trees, you know. I thought treehouse, why not? It's like the perfect thing for a cat. So I wanted to build them one. And right now I'm working on like supporting branches. I deleted one that we put there because I didn't like it, and I didn't feel like it would be the right branch. Also, I didn't like that they all came out at like almost 90-degree angles. I tried, as you can see, to mend that fact by creating this one. And building this one branch just brought me back to adding more branches and more detail to the tree. There was still some spaces that just had these cut off branches. I wanted it to look like a real tree, and one that didn't look like, you know, someone went crazy on it with a with a chainsaw. So it needed more of the branches that have all these nice tertiary branches where, you know, all the foliage would be growing on. So I did that for a while, and then I went back to my treehouse. Now, if you were there on the stream, I asked you guys, because I've never built a tree house. It's not really a European thing to build tree houses. I think that's like more like an American thing. So I asked for you if someone knew how to fix this tree house to the tree without hurting the tree too much. So I went looking for solutions and found all kinds of stuff that involved ropes and supporting beams and all kinds of stuff. But this self-supporting structure that I'm building right now was one that I liked the most. And it's holding itself up on its own. There's a cat running around free. You'll see what I mean, I guess, in a second. And I think it looks the most weightless, quote unquote, because it doesn't have any attachment to the ground. It's just held up by its own and by the tree, by this second level of this, what am I calling it? The structure around the trunk that, will support the top structure, as you can see with these supporting beams. And don't be confused by this sloping, tilted structure that you just saw. I tried several times to add a ramp to this because I wanted my cats to be able to walk onto the treehouse or to access the treehouse from the top with the ladder, the rope bridge, but also from the bottom, because there's nothing else in the exhibit right where I put this tree on the ground for them to go there. And it's kind of the best the most open view for the people to see them. So I wanted to provide something, which is this ramp, to make them go there. But the final ramp looks different, and so I didn't include how I built these structures that you're going to see eventually. And now the support structure is almost done, and it was time to add the flooring and test it. And I found that they had enough space there, but I wanted to include straw beds so they could like literally lie down there and sleep, and thought that it would be nicer if they had a teeny tiny bit more space to walk around the sleeping cats that would be in their way if someone came there, and just used it to get down to the ground from the rock structure that the rope ladder is going to be connected to. So I extended it and thus had to fiddle with branches and stuff and added more support beams. Then I thought it needed like some sort of railing around the trunk on the top. And now I'm creating, the railing for the outside. It will have two different types of railing alternating. One where you can see through, and one that is, obstructing the view, so the animals have some sort of privacy up there. Because, I'm sparing no expense for my guests. Now I'm grabbing Nuri to see how high the railing is, and it turned out that it was just on the height of her eye level, so I made it a bit taller because, you want to see the eyes of the animals when you walk by there. Yeah, so it's made of one that is see-through with these beams, and one that is just completely closed off for the privacy of the animals, as I said, and just alternated those. And oh my god, what I love about this tree house is that it's actually crooked. It's not integrally crooked, but I grabbed a beam that came from the rope ladder originally. This is how it looks. Still have the supporting beam there, but I'm going to delete it. I had it there because I wanted to attach the rope ladder somehow, but you'll see there is no problem. Okay, so what I love about this is the crookedness of the thing. It's like tilted by like 1 or 2 degrees into, I think, all directions, which it's not immediately visible to the eye that this entire thing is not straight. But if you like look at it closely, you'll see that it's a teeny tiny bit tilted, and that adds so much to the illusion that it is being held up by the tree. I love it. That was completely by accident. I didn't think about this. I love that I did it this way, because the usual me would have just grabbed a beam that is like horizontally aligned and completely straight, and it wouldn't have looked as real if I had done that. So I'm happy. Now I'm attaching the bridge. I'm sorry. Altering stuff, adding new connections to sort of, make it work. And lots of fiddling, lots of teeny tiny adjustments. This is all you're going to see about it, because this is all I did, and I repeated it 300 times for every rope connection there is. I'm attaching this under structure rope to the tree. That is something that I really like. My God, words. Okay. Makes it all sort of come together and look like it's a real thing. It's so intertwined into each other. The whole tree house, rope ladder, tree thing. I love it. I love how this turned out. I hope you like it too. You can download this one, by the way, on the workshop. I uploaded it a while ago, and there's some people who downloaded it already, but I made some alterations, and I need to figure out how to update the workshop item without creating a new one. Still didn't figure that out. If you guys have any information on that, please help, because I don't want to delete the one that I uploaded weeks ago, but I did some minor tweaks, adjustments to it. I really like what I did here with the branch. Sorry, but this stuff like this, teeny tiny details like this, make this look real to me. The crookedness of it, and then there's this broken bit where the branch is coming through. All of that stuff. It takes time to build, and it takes an eye for it, but this is what, for me, makes it feel like a real thing. Okay, back to branches. I did some minor adjustments to the treehouse after uploading it to the workshop, and some people have already downloaded it, so I don't want to delete it, but I don't want to, upload another one that's confusing. So there has to be a way to update the one that I already uploaded. I don't know how. Maybe there's an FAQ somewhere. Now I'm adding more branches. I waited for those down here, the supporting branches. Of course, they need detail because they're the closest to the ground, and that's where the people are. So that's what you're going to see. So they needed detail, and I didn't want to do the detail before I had added the tree house, because everything has to sort of evolve around the tree house. So I did those last, and while I'm adding the last tree twigs before adding the foliage, it's going to get exciting, guys. I might maybe tell you something that I told the people on the stream, but that I didn't tell you about this park in this speed building series so far. So, it's located in the south of France because, my mother is French, and so I am too. And she comes from a really small village in the southern center of France. And there is a really famous grotto nearby. It's La Grotte de Lascaux. And it has these famous cave paintings of, I think, a bull or some sort of equivalent to it, and many others. And we went there when I was a child. Like every time we were there, like we spent all of our school vacations in France to see the family. And I always insisted on going to this grotto. And because I was so fascinated by it. It had like a woolly mammoth animatronic in front of it. And the fascinating thing is that it was discovered by kids playing like in the early 1900s, somewhere, sometime. And I always hoped that I would someday find one of those myself. And that is actually what inspired me to build this grotto for the Smilodon and to put it on the Mediterranean map. So this park is in the south of France, and I'm going to include more of this geological stuff in the future. I mean, you can see some of it in the distance. But we're not here for rock formations today. We're building a tree, and this tree is almost done. I'm starting to add foliage now, the foliage. And this is it feels revolutionary to me because the way I added the foliage before was a big factor in why I didn't like the tree. Because I just scaled the foliage up, just kept it upright, like horizontally aligned, and put it on the inside of the branch work, which led to you not being able to see the branches anymore, which is the secret of making a good-looking tree. You have to see the branch work. And so this time, I created pads by leaving the space that was occupied by the branch open and sort of wrapping it in the foliage, which looks much more real and much more like the trees we have in the game. And so this was my first step of adding foliage. I just wrapped the tree and its existing branches in the foliage. Now, I'm kind of sorry that this is covered in autumn colors, because I know this is not going to be as usable as a green tree. I was contemplating making a second one with green leaves. And I made a second one, actually, because I added, instead of the ramp, a ladder to access it from the ground, because I thought it kind of it made more sense to have it, but I can't fit one in the exhibit I have because my cave is in the way. But for you guys, if you maybe prefer a rope ladder leading up to the thing, I made you a second one. I could have made this one with green leaves, but I didn't because I'm stupid. Yeah, and now I had added all the pads, and then I went in and deleted those that were covered up by others and wouldn't get any light anymore, which opens up the inside of the tree and makes more of the branches visible, as you can see, and I love that a lot. And now I looked at the shape of the tree and was like, well, this is weird. So I adjusted this one branch. It was way too long, way too protruding. Because I wanted this tree to have a nice shape, and this bit was it was too weird. I couldn't just leave it there. And yeah, thus started the adjustment period. And I did a lot of adjustments to the apex of the tree because it had a really weak apex, as you can see, which is the fault of there not being enough branches. The left side, I'm just calling it the left side now because it's actually not at all the left side, it's the right side, depending on where, depending on which direction you look at it. You'll see I'm building up the apex right now, right there. It just had a hole And the reason for that is that I don't have branches there. But I was like, yeah, okay, but I can just easily add my foliage there and pretend that it has branches there. Deleted some stuff that would be covered up and not get any light anymore again. And just used my base, sort of the wrapping of the tree, to create a shape that I liked. And I realized that it doesn't work to just add the foliage and have a hole of nothing holding them up. So I realized I needed another branch up there. I copied one from the tree, shrunk it, and put it into place. And in the end, it turns out, like, I feel like this is the most important branch I added. All the others, I mean, they are probably just as important, but this one just showed me how important every single branch in this thing is, because you see them. And now this tree has like a nice structure and a nice apex, and I'm adding to it to make it wider and fluffier and nicer. And I continued adding foliage and adjusting the shape, deleting stuff that got covered up to free the center of the tree so you can see some of the branches again, as I said. And then I just added a couple of the tinier foliage pads that we have just for some detail and some change in shape. There you go. And then I still wasn't satisfied with the apex. I wanted it to be a bit higher and built it up like this. In the end, I went in and added a teeny tiny, like 1 or 2 branches in spaces where they were missing. And then came the final touch-up, adjusting final positions a teeny tiny bit, adding 1 or 2 of them here and there, deleting some until I had this nice shape, which is this. And I hope you like it. I do. I'm putting it in the exhibit later, playing with the light, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Don't worry, you'll get to see both versions in all their glory, but we're not done. We still need the ramp leading up. And as I said before, I tried 3 different versions. None of them worked. So I figured I need something that has its own structure, like, construction thing, structure, this framework, and that I can attach to the house. It's not a house, but why am I calling it a tree house? It didn't work the way I tried before, which was just have a spiral going down, but I couldn't figure out how to place the boards, the floorboard. So I did this. I built ramps and connected them to straight faces, straight shapes. This right here, so they can turn and walk down and turn and walk down. And this here you can see that everything is just a little bit crooked because I had to turn all of these just the tiniest bit, because I turned them by 90 degrees, and so the angles didn't fit together anymore. And just this teeny tiny amount of crookedness, it's just what I was talking about earlier. It's just what gives this, some realism. It's not straight. A treehouse wouldn't be straight. That's it. That's just not, like, right here. Whatever. So these are the ramps. I'm adjusting the sizes. This one, the ramp leading down, just was too thick, too broad, and it touched the tree, covered up my mushrooms that I love, that I just wanted to place there. And I gave it supporting beams, and this was where I was starting to see that I don't know why I changed the sizes of the different levels, but I did, and so nothing really fit together anymore, and I had to figure out how to attach my supporting beams. And now that I'm changing it all again, I figured, a slimmer ramp was just as good, works just as well, and it doesn't come as close to the tree, makes it look more real. And if it has just a bit more breathing room around the tree, then I adjusted like the positioning of the thing so that it came super close to the treehouse so that the animals could actually walk onto the ramp. I checked it all with the traversable area. I grabbed animals every now and then, put them up there and checked the traversable area and if they would actually use the stuff, and they do. I'm so happy to announce they use this thing and they love it. Yeah, I just love building stuff that is not just decorative but also functional, because it looks so much more real if the animals actually use it and walk on it and do stuff with it, lie there. And that's just the stuff my dreams are made of. What can I say? So yeah, this is it, guys. This is how it looks from underneath. I know that this whole construction thing, the structure underneath the ramp, is not the prettiest sight, but in my exhibit, it mostly faces the entry of the cave, which is not visible from, the guest's perspective. Now I'm putting it in the exhibit, trying to make it align with everything that I have there. This is the cave that I'm talking about. And we have the structure like right up against the rock faces. But this under Billy walking on it. And now, just fiddling with the exhibit, adding things. I deleted the upper portion of this glass wall because I had it there because of the rock. I didn't want the cats to be logically able to walk or just jump out of there. But now I figure that it's just too high. And this is the only view where you can sort of look under this ramp construction. And so I added foliage to cover it up a little bit, and that really does the trick for me. But this under construction is the main reason why I built a second one with a rope bridge. That is way more fun to look at for you guys, because I figure, not everyone has or wants to hide the backside of this tree, because to be honest, the backside, like the side that has the ramp, in my opinion, is the prettier one. So I would recommend using it like the other way around. But this also, the front, quote unquote, that has the balcony on it is quite nice too. Yeah, and I added a couple of grassy bits and foliage to blend it in. All of these, the rocks and stuff, are all part of the workshop item that you can download. Again, I'm putting the links to all of the items that you can download in the description. Go check them out. And please tell me in the comments if you would like me to do another one of these, 2 other versions. We're done now. I'm playing with the light, showing you how it looks. If you would like me to do these, love this view. This is the branch that I added last, the one that you see at the top. And it's the most beautiful one. And here are the cats using it. Lovely. So please tell me if you want me to redo these with green foliage, because I'm willing to do it. I'm here at your service. Billy and Nuri are clearly enjoying this treehouse. And now I'm going into the save file and showing you both versions of the treehouses in all their glory. Alrighty, here we are. This is the one that has the rope ladder. It's nicer, right? But I couldn't put it there. And it has small beds in it. I also put a rug, an old jute rug, rug in here. I made it for my cafe, so you'll see how I did it, but it's yeah, it's just a tropical banner thingy, decoration thingies with color adjustments, and if you put them together, I felt like they could easily be like an arid rug. So yeah, here are the beds, and this is the rope ladder leading up. Foliage, I added the dandelions and what are those called? I don't know, but you know, the temperate grass stuff too. And this is the one that I'm using with the ramp. Love, just love the tree. I'm willing to do alternate versions of these with green leaves. Just tell me in the comments if you want them or if you're fine with the autumn colors. But look at the apex here. I just love this thing. It's really good. I mean, there's some bits and pieces that are a bit off, like this one touching the other one. But don't look too closely and you'll be happy, because I am, and I hope you will too. This is, like, I call this the animal treehouse. The other one is the animal treehouse with rope ladders. You can download both of them on the workshop. Plus, of course, my hanging rope bridge. You'll have to do the, you know, the attachment, the rock work yourself. It just comes with the tree, but I thought that was okay, because I actually don't want to tell you what to put under here, right? So there you go. Hanging rope bridge, animal treehouse with rope ladders, and animal treehouse. All three downloadable in the workshop. The links are in the description. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the results of it. And I hope you'll stay tuned for the next episode that is going to, I don't know what we're going to do in this one, but stay tuned. And thank you for watching. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.